Welcome to the HR Happy Hour Work Break. You're here with Trish and Steve. Hey, Steve Bose.
Hey, Trish, how are you?
I'm good. I think trying this at like midday is very difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, we missed a couple shows or one show, and then I was so busy today. So, yeah. Well, what are you going to do?
You know what? I want to say, I think it's because we kind of cursed ourselves. We were like, hey, we're getting a little bit busier. We need to make this earlier. We need to do it fewer times a week. And all of a sudden it's like exploding busy. But can I give our big news?
Give the news.
So we launched H3HR Advisors. Our company launched our survey today, and we've been keeping it under wraps because we did not want anyone else to get wind of what we were doing. We believe that diversity and inclusion is very important, and there are many, many people talking about it in different aspects of it. But what we feel is missing is there is not enough talk, if any at all, about accessibility and whether or not that has a large impact on inclusion. And if so, what is the financial impact potentially of that? So our survey launched today. Right now, you can find it on Twitter, LinkedIn, if you're following me, following you. We are also going to have that up on our website, so we can announce that in the next day or so. But yeah, please go out and take it. It takes about 4 to 5 minutes. And you will, if you give your email, you are registered for a chance to win a $100 Visa gift card.
Gift card? I'm in.
Yeah. Are you going to go take it?
Yes. I hope it's like, I want to see Applebee's. That would be what I would want my gift card to be.
Well, it's Visa. You can spend it anywhere you'd like.
Oh, even better.
Even better. But no, in all seriousness, obviously we are very passionate about the topic. We actually have a show with two special, two Special Olympians coming up in June. And we've already talked with Special Olympics. We've talked with people who are hearing impaired, vision impaired. We just really felt like it was time to start thinking about what organizations can do to bring those people in, make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, and honestly,
interview process on in.
And as we were going through this and crafting it up and, thinking about it, it came to me like we're not doing enough either. And so we're trying to figure out how we can make what we do more accessible and inclusive, even starting with the smallest of steps, Trish. We've been doing the Happy Hour podcast for 10 years plus.
That's right.
Only just now, really, the last couple of shows, we're publishing full transcripts of the podcast along with the podcast when we post the podcast. And I know that's not nearly enough, and it's just a tiny thing, but it's a thing like we weren't even doing, like something so basic, which is just one extra step. Takes a little bit of time. All right, fine, sure. And like we just weren't doing it. And we're thinking there's a whole audience out there for a podcast, right? Audio content, that content's just not available to them unless you at least make an attempt to make it available to them. So, and we'll keep thinking about ways to improve ourselves. And I hope people, when they take the survey, they think about that as well.
Yeah, this is not meant to point fingers. This is one of those surveys where, and let me just tell you, I will list it off later this week. We have so many large vendors, mid-sized vendors, small vendors, everyone partnering together on this to get the word out, because accessibility is one of those topics where we need to come together and help each other on it and get better and find out what can we be doing, those little things. We also started video recording our HR Happy Hour podcast, and we're going to have that. I mean, they're on YouTube, but we haven't really been captioning them. So those will become captioned, right? For people who might need that as well. So I think it's just a lot of things, right? There are lots of little things we can do. Simple things like even when you're like trying to, put out marketing about your company, having people who might have different disabilities pictured alongside, as workers, right? So you want people to feel like they can be part of it, like they can see themselves in your organization. Yeah. So we're excited.
We're excited. Yeah, I'm very excited about it. So yeah, please do check that out. I think, Trish, the plan is to keep the survey open for a good 6 weeks, 8 weeks or something like that to really try to get a lot of responses.
We are. And so we want to keep it open. Actually, it'll be open until June 30th. And that is a conscious choice to make it longer than you would typically leave a survey open. But it's because it's such a universal topic. We want to make positively sure that we are that we are as inclusive as we can be, right? So in all of our vendor partners that we're going to have on this, we want to give everyone time. And again, it takes 4 to 5 minutes to actually do the survey. So yeah.
And shout out to you. You created the survey, Trish, in Qualtrics. That's the tool you used.
I did, yes.
I had never used that tool before as a user. I mean, as a creator. So shout out Qualtrics. Really, really cool software. So I enjoyed kind of learning it a little bit.
I have to tell you, that is so true, because I've been doing surveys for a long time, and there is an art to it. Can I also just shout out to Molly Lombardi, who, I mean, I thought I knew how to write survey questions years ago, and she really showed me kind of how to do it right. So anyway, shout out to Qualtrics for the actual software. It was so easy to use, so easy to take, and you can do it on your mobile device. It's mobile friendly as well, and the survey is fully accessible.
Love it.
How about that?
Hey, real quick, Trish, quick break from survey talk. Alexa, what's the weather? She didn't answer. Alexa, what's the weather?
Right now in Concord, it's 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
Wait for it.
With cloudy skies. Tonight's forecast has clouds with a low of 66 degrees. Hope you've had a good morning.
So Alexa blew it. 5 minutes ago, when I asked Alexa what the weather was, she told me there was a tornado watch in the area.
Oh no! And now she's like, "Hey, great weather."
Maybe the watch is over. I was still going for a big impact tornado.
Oh, I was gonna say, what are we waiting for?
Bummer. That fell a little flat.
That did fall a little bit flat. We've probably lost every single viewer we had.
Speaking of falling flat, Trish, I had an observation today when I was typing up an email or something.
What's that?
Like there are a few keys on the keyboard that actually have 2 little symbols on the individual key. So if you want the lower symbol, you just hit the key. If you want the upper symbol, it's the old shift and the key, right? So the numbers are like that. We know that, but there's a couple other keys in the main kind of standard keyboard that are like that as well. I noticed, Trish, that the colon and semicolon key has, you just hit it, you get the semicolon. Mm-hmm. You got to do a shift maneuver to get the colon.
Yes.
And I feel that's backwards.
I would agree with you.
I feel like the colon is more important in written communication than the semicolon. I don't know why I feel that way. I have no data. I have no analysis. I saw it today. I was looking for a colon for something I was typing, and I stumbled upon this breakthrough, which has been for 80 years probably.
Right.
Where are you? Team colon or team semicolon, Trish? Where are you?
Okay, I'm gonna have to tell it. I feel like I need some like mood music, mood lighting. Bring it down a minute. It's a very traumatic story that I have about semicolons. Picture this.
It seems hard.
7th grade.
Go ahead.
No, I'm serious. It's like you and the audience, all of our friends, you're my therapist now, because so 7th grade, I'm in an English class, and the next thing you know, the teacher, who was like really known as the biggest you know what in the school, not a nice guy, worst guy ever. And he was a young teacher too, so he thought he was wonderful. Anyway, he calls on me, and I said colon, like the answer was a colon instead of semicolon, which was the correct one.
Okay.
He made me, we had chalkboards back in the day. He made me get up in front of the class and fill a whole board of sentences using colons and semicolons. So I would learn the difference, embarrass the hell out of me. And for the rest of the semester called me semicolon.
Wow. Trish, I had no idea that there was going to be, in addition to my dumb observation about the keyboard, I did not know there was a backstory here. Wow.
I'll tell you what, and I'm going to call him out now. Mr. Forrestal, if you're even still alive, I need to find him and tell him what an ass he was. Like, really. Wow. Teachers don't, adults, I'm going to just widen it. Adults don't sometimes realize what we've done to kids. Yeah, it was awfully embarrassing.
Yeah.
I'm still obviously traumatized 40 years later.
I say it's probably time to let that one go, Trish, if possible.
I can't.
Wow. You
know why I can't? Because he wasn't sorry. He could have fixed that. He could have apologized for that and not called me names. Why do teachers call kids names? Don't do that. Don't do that to teenagers.
Yeah, no, the kids like to call the teachers names. That's how it should work.
Yeah, well, I got a few choice names for Mr. Forrestal. He was awful. Anyway, hey, listen, we've got like another 30 seconds. What do you got? Anything good?
Trish, who do you think is the most prolific famous painter it's estimated to be in the world? Which famous painter?
Rembrandt.
No, prolific meaning the most most paintings this person created and produced into the world. The most.
I know yes, I understand the definition. That's what I thought the answer was.
Not necessarily a classic artist, but a famous one. Very famous one. Big fame.
Andy Warhol.
No, Mr. Bob Ross.
Bob Ross.
I read an article about him this morning over breakfast. It's estimated that Bob Ross created about 30,000 paintings in his lifetime, in his career as a painter. He was not famous for a lot of the first part of his life. He only became famous when he got on PBS. I also learned that he wasn't paid anything for that PBS show at the time. But he used it as a mechanism to sell stuff, right? Supplies and instructional videos and things like that. He painted about 30,000 paintings. And also, Trish, I'll have to find the link and tweet this out later. They're almost impossible to find in the auction market or from private sellers. They're almost, a lot of them are held by the Bob Ross estate, and they're not really selling them right now. Very, very difficult to get your hands on an original Bob Ross. And for each one of those shows, Trish, he made 3 versions of the painting that you see on the show. Totally,
really?
3 identical copies of them. I mean, he did originals.
Like a practice?
It was something for the pre-production and the taping and for some other purpose. I forget the reasons why, but it made 3 of each and impossible to find. So there you go.
Okay. Well, speaking of paintings, then we're going to let everyone go because I know we're running a little bit long. I actually just watched, I haven't even finished the series yet, but on Netflix, have you heard of, it's called This is a Robbery, the World's Biggest Art Heist?
I have not.
It's new on Netflix. It's several episodes worth, but basically it is about, it's a small museum in Boston, the something Gartner Museum. Anyway, the show is brilliant, but it's about one of the biggest art heists in the world, like estimated over $1 billion worth of Rembrandts and other famous paintings.
Yeah.
Right. And who doesn't like a good heist, right? But no, it remains unsolved after, this was in the early 90s. So
what's like the breaking point from just where you move from robbery into heist?
I don't know.
Because heist is cool. Robbery sounds a little bit, but heist. I'd like to be involved in a heist. I'm not sure I'm signing up for a normal robbery. I probably wouldn't, to be honest.
But a heist, you would.
But if someone approached me, hey,
all right, here's your assignment for the next show, for the next work break. Let's figure it out. What's the difference? So you're right. You make a great point. I mean, the show it uses both words. This is a robbery: the world's biggest art heist.
All right. So they're confused too. They don't even know. All right. I'll dig into it.
Anyway, all right. Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Please go to our Twitter, mine, Steve's, or the HR Happy Hour show. And you can take our survey on accessibility and inclusion in your workplace. Takes you 4 to 5 minutes. Able to win a $100 gift card, a Visa gift card. And we would appreciate it. I just think it's such a nice thing.
Applebee's.
Right? Exactly. All right. Have a great day, everyone. We will catch you next time.